Week 3, already week 3.
Week 3, baby. Welcome back.
Week 2 was a little rough.
Yeah.
I feel like both you and I just made I think it was my fault. I'll take ownership of it because I was the one that was like, just do it.
I know. She peer pressured me into tinkering, and I'm like a firm non-tinkerer. Like, don't change your lineup 30 minutes before kickoff, but I did it.
Would it have made a difference?
Yeah. In the
Same.
league I lost, it would have.
Same.
I played Allie's sister in our league, and I tinkered. I tinkered because of peer pressure, but I also tinkered because I subconsciously wanted to.
It's crazy, too, how you and I have such similar... Like, we were about the same people.
Yes. I think
wondering
it's
what we should do.
We talked so much, so I think when we drafted, we, essentially drafted very similar teams, and we're always on the same page with things.
It's crazy. Yeah, but I think our biggest mistake...
What was it? Tell the people.
I think benching Brian Robinson. We did the poll.
That sucked. He
had almost 30 points. I think he had 27.9. And, if I had... Okay, so in the league that he's in... I actually have him in both my leagues. He played on the more important league, which is the money league, where we're all in.
Of course.
I had him. He's in my flex. Because my bench is kind of, watered down.
Yeah.
But that's the 12-person league. So in my 10-person league, I have him. I'm very running back heavy. That's had good. Nick Chubb and Jamal Williams and Miles Sanders and Brian Robinson. And at the time, we did a post on Instagram, Jamal Williams or Robinson in the flex. Because I'm still on this train of Miles Sanders is gonna pop off. And I'm starting to each week get less and less on board.
I think it's a little romantic, too, because you loved Miles Sanders. Well, he was so good for you guys. I'm like that, too. Whenever, a former Packer goes to another team, I'm always like, I got to draft that guy.
I just thought that the situation that he was going into, the Panthers really needed somebody to step up on that team and take charge, and Miles Sanders just has that personality. He's reliable, but he just hasn't... I don't even necessarily think it's him. I think it's just... The team has a lot of things. It just seems very, young. I mean, I know they have the young quarterback, but there's just something with that
Literally
team
young.
that is just they're not on board at the same level as the teams they're facing. And I think that maybe week 6, week 7 is when we'll finally see Sanders have his blowout.
Everything gets more settled
and then
in.
It'll be more consistent. And I mean, each week with the Panthers, you had their tight end Hurst with his great week, and then Thielen was it this week. I have him on my bench.
Went off.
I had a feeling about him, too. I took him in the last round.
You said it to me yesterday at work before the game. Didn't you say something about Thielen?
I just said that him and Miles Sanders are really the only...
What they have.
Yeah.
I agree.
And because I think we were talking about, what does Carolina have? And I was like, well, Thielen's not bad, and he ended up having a really good game. But I think that those are just... it's either it's hit or miss. It's not gonna be a consistent thing.
I get not starting him. He's burnt me in the past.
Oh yeah, he's for bye weeks. I'd love to I mean, when we start getting into bye weeks in that league, I'm pretty screwed. I don't have any strong running backs. I mean, I have Foreman, I think, from the Bears.
I just dropped him. Because I'm in running back hell. I have so many injuries. I had to pick up Foreman this week off the waiver wire, and he didn't do anything. I think he got 3 points.
He didn't do anything the week before, but it's almost the same thing as Miles Sanders. I think that they're just in a situation where collectively as a team...
the Bears are just sucking. I think Carolina has way more potential than the Bears do.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that... I need to take Miles Sanders, take a couple steps back on him. I think I should
colored glasses off with Miles Sanders.
I think the question should have been Jamal Williams or Miles Sanders in the flex.
Yeah, I feel like they're
have Robinson
more equal playing field, those two guys.
So, and then obviously lost Nick Chubb. Right away I tried to claim Ford for his replacement. I do have Kenny Gainwell on that team. He was out this week, but I think when he comes back, even with how well DeAndre Swift did, I still think Kenny is one to get me a couple points, good for a bye week, and we'll just see how it goes. Nothing lost, nothing gained in that league. This is just kind of for moments like this, where I'm put in a tight spot and how I navigate it, and I'm not losing or gaining anything.
That's how leagues are won. Yeah. It's what you do on the waiver wire when shit goes down.
Yeah, I'm worried about the 12-person league, though. I hope to God everybody stays healthy in that one.
It's impossible to stay healthy.
Yeah. And then, so that was a huge mistake, benching Robinson. I won't do it again.
What's our biggest mistake, though?
That was my biggest one.
Want to know my biggest mistake?
But I know you're going to say T. Higgins and going with Zay Flowers. But the saving grace with that is Zay still got 9 points, which isn't terrible. But Higgins got 21 or 22.
Yeah. So in the league where I went against your sister, it was such a close. I think it was. She had like 94 points or something, and I had 86.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So it would have, oh my God.
Yeah. For me, like, if I had swapped out Zay with Zay with T. Higgins, I still would have lost.
Okay.
Because of Nick Chubb getting injured. But if I had put Robinson in over any of those running, like, they all got 6 points or less, whereas Zay still got 9 points.
Right.
And then Robinson also got closer to 30, whereas Higgins was still closer to 20.
Right.
So I really, like, I should have just put both of them in, but, you know, I was hearing all this hype on Zay Flowers and how he was going to have a great week.
Yeah, it looked like an ideal situation.
Yes.
We weren't sure about Mark Andrews. Dobbins is gone, so it was like, this guy.
We weren't sure on Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he re-injured his calf.
Oh, he's injured now too?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I think he'll play, but it's just, yeah. Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe he was never healthy, do you think?
I don't think he was ever healthy. I mean, there was the injury during preseason.
And it's the same one.
Same one.
Goodness gracious.
Side note.
Yeah, so, I mean, another reason, though, to, like, not be so... I mean, Higgins got 0 points in week 1. He missed every single one of his 8 targets.
He is very boomer bust. I feel like some
Can't
weeks...
have that.
I know. It's such a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah.
Some weeks he'll, like, go off. Wasn't it him last season that had, like, a 3 or 4 touchdown day? It was, like, obnoxious. I think it was.
I thought it was Joe Mixon, the running back.
Maybe it was Joe Mixon. It was someone on the Bengals.
Had, like, 50 points.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I'm pretty sure it was Joe Mixon.
But I know T. Higgins is kind of like that, too. Like, one week you'll have 32 points.
But
the next
also...
week you'll have 1.6 points.
But then it's also, like, competing with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for the Eagles, like the Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown situation, too, you know? But
Jamar Chase was, like... had some drama. He came out today and said something about like needing more targets, and there's all this stuff on sports media this morning about there being drama in their locker room. I
get it. AJ Brown had his little
tiff too, which I agree with AJ Brown. I need AJ Brown to get more targets, more points.
In the moment, I understand, and you know, the next play after that. Like, he caught it for a touchdown that got taken back because of Rashad Penny holding.
That was painful for fantasy, too.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
The past
it was annoying as a fan.
Offensively, the past 2 weeks with fantasy have been very frustrating.
They have. They've been really.
It just doesn't feel as robust as it usually is.
I want to say, like, I couldn't even tell you who Oh, no, I could. Jefferson's been the only reliable.
Of course. He
deserves... And Brian Robinson. I should have trusted him more.
Jefferson, you know how I feel about the Vikings.
I don't think he scored. I don't even know if he scored a touchdown in our game.
I don't think he did.
And he still got me 19 points. Yeah.
He's consistent, and he does deserve that number 1 overall pick spot because the man just... I think he
doesn't fade either through the game. If anything, I was not impressed with the Darius Slay-Jefferson matchup at all. I think Slay is a fraud. Yeah. And
that's a lot for you to say, too.
I mean, it's been 2 years. His last interception, besides the pick 6 this season, was week 2 last year against Jefferson.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. Maybe he had an interception in the playoffs. But I also remember him just being, like, I don't even know the proper word for it, but just not not sticking with his guy. Like, being fooled, basically, out there. And he's just all talk, I think.
That's how I felt about Jair this week. Like... the matchup, it just sucks. It just everything kind of got away from him. He dropped an interception that could have made it a game.
So did Slay. Like, he had a chance.
There was no, enthusiasm there. Like, he looked kind of, distracted this week. But anyway.
I think he'll
I understand your frustration because I had a similar feeling this week.
Yeah. Too. So, yeah, I will definitely be playing T. Higgins. I might even put Flowers in my flex because so this was something I wanted to address too. So, I think what it is it's not that we made the wrong decision with Zay over Higgins. It's just Baltimore had more weapon. They actually used OBJ a lot that game. Like, he was getting a lot of the catches. From what I was seeing, every time I looked up, I felt like he was getting the ball. They used Gus Edwards a lot. I think he ran in for a touchdown. Lamar Jackson was being super mobile that game. Crazy. And also, we were under the impression that it was supposed to be raining.
Right, the weather on the little bubble on fantasy, like the little storm cloud, they never are right. How do
it
we
was
have
a
all this
beautiful
technology
day. It was a beautiful day out there. But anyway, so lessons learned.
Yeah, I feel like I always
Trust
do
your
this
gut.
song and dance with fantasy. Like, next week I'll be like, okay, so I have to put T. Higgins in, right? Because I didn't last week.
Don't expect him to have the same
I feel like
week.
it's like step, snap. Like, I always feel like I'll start the guy and then he's a bomb. Yeah. And then I'll bench him and then he goes off. And it's just like that every other week.
I will say, though, Zay consistently had 9 points. So if you're in the same dilemma going between the two, I think the risk and reward is better going with Higgins, because
I agree.
I think with Zay and him being, he's a rookie, right? He was drafted by Baltimore. So, like, he's still getting his, like, okay, also annoying with him, he had this amazing, I think it was like 40-plus, 50-plus yard catch. And then, like, I think it shocked him that he caught the ball, because he just kind of, like, the dude that was defending him, like, went right by him. And he, like, caught the ball and kind of had this, like, little initial reaction of, like, oh, my gosh, I caught this, yay me. And then was like, oh, I got to keep running. And then started running, and it was too late. And then they gave him, he was maybe 10 yards from the end zone, could have got a touchdown on that same catch, which would have also would have cut the deficit a little bit more. And maybe could have, like, changed the tone of the game for him. But then they gave him 2 more chances to try to catch and run it in, which I wish they would have just had him run into the end zone and then catch. And because dude's not very big.
No.
So that was just, I don't know what was, but he did not end up getting the touchdown. And then they finally, maybe that was the touchdown that Gus Edwards ran in, or they just went with a field goal. But
now I'm having this anxiety, though, with, like, the Joe Burrow calf re-injury, I should say, the drama in their locker room. Now I'm like,
but okay, so if we
do I bench T. Higgins again?
No, and this is why, because
don't be stupid.
Oh, but remember, you also have Joe Mixon too.
I do.
In the same with against Cass.
Yes.
And that was our other thing. I was like, well, are you really gonna put?
That was the other thing. I'm like, it's kind of does you a disservice if you have 2 guys going at once. But then again, like,
I would almost even maybe try to offer a trade to somebody.
Thought about it.
Get rid of one of your Bengals guys. Get a different receiver that might be a little bit more reliable. Maybe not on paper.
I should try to trade with George.
Who are you going to trade for?
I don't know. When we're done here, I'm going to.
Yeah, that's an option.
That is an option.
I mean, the worst that happens is they just say no.
Exactly.
But I will say, so think about if they put in a backup quarterback and Higgins had this great week, I think that's going to be the guy this guy looks to more. So,
right.
But,
interesting theories.
Just a couple things to think about, but go with your gut. That's going to be my advice from now on.
No tinkering.
Or we can do another poll, because that was really fun. Even though it led me in the wrong direction, it was still fun, and I enjoyed it. And thank you for everybody who voted. I think it might have only been like 5 or 6 people, but it's okay.
We'll take it.
Yeah. So with that being said, the biggest devastation of fantasy was definitely me and the survival week. I am now eliminated. I did not survive week 2 in the survival. I went with the Chargers, when in my gut I was like, I think I even said it in our episode last week. I was just like, I think I'm going to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I think you did say it.
I did not go with the Colts.
Go with your gut. That should be the title of this episode. Go with your gut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but if I win the $4,300, we'll go somewhere.
Ooh, okay.
It would only pay for
margaritas.
I was like, ooh, you go to Mexico. I was thinking like, oh, we could go to the Super Bowl, but that would buy like a half a ticket to the Super Bowl.
No, I think tickets are like $2,000,
and
it's in
Vegas. That would be a very
and it's the day after my birthday, because remember
my birthday's in February too, so we did go for our birthdays.
Yeah.
Screw paying debt. Let's go to the Super Bowl.
Oh my god, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Dreams. Well, if I win the
positive vibes,
the league that we're in, and I can contribute my $200,
every little bit counts.
I'll get the hotel for half a night.
I'll get the Super Bowl tickets.
But anyway, so Yeah, so for today's episode, I think we went over this too. Like, you're going out of town, so we're actually going to cover 2 weeks of predictions. So we're going to try a little bit of a different format with how we do our picks and stuff. But before we get into that, I did want to go over just a kind of general ranking of where you see everybody. Just because I always see everybody with their opinions.
Idea. And we went in blindly, obviously, as you do at the beginning of the season, not really knowing how teams are going to pan out. Right. So it's kind of cool to have a little bit of a taste.
I was taking a leap of faith on all these last 2 weeks, but starting now, I'm getting serious and no more silly predictions. But a girl can dream, and my dreams never came true this season. Well, except for the Eagles so far, so I'm happy with that. Yeah. But my off the wall picks were just, what was I thinking?
Off the wall.
And I will admit it. I'll own up to it. But anyway, so I will say with I can't even believe I'm saying this. Actually, I'm going to ask you first, and then maybe I don't have to say it. Who would you put as the number 1 team right now in the NFL?
You're going to hate this. You're going to hate this every which way. I think we're
going to agree on the same.
I am somewhere between the Cowboys and the Niners.
No!
I knew she was going to yell.
Listen. Okay.
This is my opinion.
It is. I am not sold on the 49ers being that great. The Cowboys, though, 100%. I hate to say this. They are dominating right now, and I can't stand it.
I feel like I truly just... Right there in that moment, I just wanted to say the Cowboys, but I kind of cushioned it. I kind of threw the Niners in there as a distraction.
That almost made it worse because those are my 2 least favorite. I cannot wait till those teams play each other.
Yeah, it'll be good at least. The Cowboys' defense looks scary. The first week, I kind of thought it was a fluke, and they just got lucky, and maybe the Giants were that bad.
What are they feeding those guys?
I don't know.
What is happening?
Is it Micah Parsons?
This is probably the best defense I've ever seen in my entire life, and I hate saying it because I cannot stand Trayvon Diggs.
I know.
I cannot stand Micah Parsons. I think he's so crazy. He has the craziest anger problems I think I've ever seen in a football player. I cannot stand Van Der Esch, however you say his name. To me, oh my gosh, I just can't. But I also need to give credit where credit is due, and that defense is something
and
else.
I'm so frustrated that
is a number 1 defense.
Yes. I'm so frustrated that we got robbed of the Rodgers-Jets game against the Cowboys because I wanted to see how Rodgers fared there. And if it would have been a close... Don't get me wrong, I'll say it again. I think he would have got killed this week if he didn't get killed last week by that defense. But he often has gone into that stadium and just slaughtered the Cowboys. So.
The way the Cowboys look right now... Okay, so I'm not worried about playing them. I think that's actually going to be a really good game.
When do you guys play them again?
Super late in the season,
That's right. You told me December? November,
Well,
maybe?
we might play them in October. I can't remember. It's definitely not for the next few weeks.
Okay.
It might be after our bye week, but which almost all the better. They usually save Dallas and the Giants for us at the end of the season, at least for the last
more competitive divisional games.
And I just think it's good TV.
Of course.
But I'd rather play them later in the season than earlier in the season. But the thing about the Dallas defense is not only are they just so good, but they also just carry this energy with them that just permeates through the whole team. Yeah. And then you have offense doing crazy things. I'm still not impressed with Dak. I think he is...
Yeah, I don't think Dak is
he's just in the right place at the right time right now and super lucky.
But he's getting it done, right? Isn't that what counts?
Yes, I guess. Is it him or his play caller getting it done? Because I see him still have his moments of Dak-ness.
Right.
But oh my gosh, that team is just phenomenal, and I hate
rough, man. This is what I went through last year with the Vikings. I'm I just don't.
Yeah, but
I hate this.
Oh my gosh, and it's what's also I was thinking about this morning. It's crazy because how quickly the Cowboys went all off season. They were just kind of the joke of the NFC East. Everybody was making all these jokes about them, and the Cowboys are going to be the worst team in the division. And I I can kind of feel a little empathy for that as to, like, we get that a lot too. Like, the Eagles are trash, like, they're the worst team. And then even when we're winning, like, people still think that we're, like, this terrible team. Like, they suck. But, like, instantly everybody's back on the Cowboy train. And I'm just like, I hate it. But anyway, so I would put them. They're in a league of their own. They're in a league of their own. No one is touching them right now. And then I would kind of say that, like, so they're like top tier, number 1,
cherry on top.
And then you have this like number 2 tier that I would put the 49ers in.
Progress, Sally.
Yes. I'm still not sold on Brock Purdy at all. He looked terrible, I think. He had his one little quarterback sneak touchdown at 1 second left. And then I don't know if you were paying attention to the later part of that game where he just was like passing to nobody. Like just making like...
Again, I don't think
he's all the hype.
I don't know if he's an elite top tier quarterback, but he gets the job done.
No.
It's consistent.
Not at all. I think he is just... Okay, so I think I brought this up to you at work because I don't know what it is about me and Daniel Jones, but I am like the Daniel Jones believer, and
George is too. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Okay, I think that he, unlike Dak, is in a terrible spot and is just surrounded by no help at all, but he still does.
He's like his own man. Like he's his team.
He keeps he's the glue of the freaking Giants, and like. Imagine if you took Daniel Jones and put him on the 49ers and put Brock Purdy on the Giants.
Right.
Brock Purdy would not be winning games for the Giants the way Daniel Jones is winning games for the Giants.
That man finds a way to win. You're absolutely right.
And Daniel Jones would probably bring the 49ers to that number 1 top tier.
That's a very fair assessment, Allie.
That's how I feel. A lot of people probably disagree with me because, again, I'm like the only one out here supporting Daniel Jones, and I guess George. You're not.
George too. George's on I'm somewhere there.
I don't see this like Mr. Irrelevant. He's so great. Like I don't think he's that great. I don't. I really, really don't. Like I think that sometimes he has good plays that he's contributing half of it, and then the other half is contributed by his receivers and McCaffrey.
A lot of weapons there.
Yeah, and like also too.
And also the defense is great. It's just like a whole package.
Yeah, their defense is pretty good. They're not a Dallas defense. They still like. The Rams kind of gave them a run for their money.
The Rams are Rams are a dark horse.
I think so too.
They're a dark horse.
They kind of just came out of the bushes this season. Totally. And are like, we're here.
There's a lot of young new talent, kind of like a Packers situation. Yeah. I don't think we're at the level of the Rams yet, but they're kind of just young and hungry and developing. And
I know they didn't get the W, but I think they kind of exposed the 49ers a little bit, because that was supposed to be one of their easier
the Rams were great last
in the
week
schedule.
Too.
Yeah. Yeah, they beat the Seahawks, but I don't know if the Seahawks... I didn't watch that Lions-Seahawks game. Yeah, you'll have to fill me in on that when we get...
I was more focused on the Packer game at the moment, but... True. Yeah, that was a close game the whole time, too.
Yeah.
It seemed like a very interesting game. I would like to watch that as a whole.
Yeah. I could. But anyway, so in our number 2 tier, so I would put the 49ers after the Eagles. Okay. I think the Eagles are still a little bit more of we have our own share of issues. At this point,
I think you guys are in there.
I think it's becoming the
problem. Offensive line, though.
I think we have the best offensive line. We'll get into that when we do talk about our picks and everything, because I do have a lot of things to that I saw in that game, obviously, but no, I am worried about the Eagles. We have some issues with our defense, our secondary defense. We have a very young and very old defensive line, with maybe Hassan Reddick being in the middle. And then our secondary is just we're getting picked off one by one. We lost Maddox for the season.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of injuries.
Bradbury was out. Nakobe Dean was out. Blankenship was out. We're probably going to have to do a little rearranging of safeties and cornerbacks and all that stuff because I just don't know. I'm not sold on this guy Joe, but maybe as the season goes on, he's young. He's just he makes so many just
How many years has he been?
I feel like he's a rookie, but maybe I've never heard his name before until he was put in for Bradbury.
Maybe he was on the practice squad or something.
Well, that's where we moved him up from. No, he would have had been on our roster because they put him in that game when Bradbury went out with a concussion in week 1.
Got it.
And he's just a little, like, I think maybe it's just nerves. Like, he just seems like he doesn't know what to do. Okay. And I'm not sold on Darius Slay, like, at all.
They're kind of...
I think when Bradbury comes back, we'll be in a better spot, but I would like to see the Eagles do some kind of trade for just some kind of veteran cornerback, safety, something like that. You know what I mean? And
okay, so that's your like.
That's why we're not in the top. That, and also we're still like.
You're climbing though.
If we just have a lot of issues going on, but they're not, like, I wouldn't consider them they're growing pains.
Okay.
Like, we have our whole new, like, coaching and everything with our offensive coach and our defensive coach going out. Like, that could be part of the problem too, like the new defensive coach.
Everybody getting used to a new system.
Yeah. Offensive coach. I think the play calling is still a little awkward, but one thing that, like, stood out to me this week compared to last week, and I even saw some article where this guy was saying it was like, we still found a way. We saw the run game, we capitalized it, and, like, we were just doing play after play after play, run play, and they still could not figure us out on it. And
when week 10 rolls around, no one's going to go back to week 2 and be like, remember this and this and this and this and this is why the Eagles suck. No, what matters is you won the game.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
I kind of, again, like, with this schedule, like, our games only get harder and harder and harder as the weeks go on, just the way our schedule was, but it's almost like just climbing a ladder, like, we get through the game, we still come out with the win, we had a short week too.
That's right, you did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Not a far travel because we were at home, so we just...
Still.
Yeah. But, like, we improved on things, and we did have good passing when it was there. There's still just some things that I see that are just, like, not fine-tuned, but anyway, so I'd put them there.
Okay.
I guess I would put the Chiefs there, too. Like, I just think that I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them drop. And then you have these, like, teams, like, kind of bordering it, like, maybe the Ravens.
The Bills.
Oh, the Bills. Yeah, I would put the Bills up there, too. Forgot about them.
Yeah, the Ravens I could see, like, kind of, like, coming out.
Maybe the Lions a little bit, like...
Yeah.
I need to see a little bit more.
They played a close game that game, so I could see the Lions kind of creeping up. The Rams, totally. I don't know how I feel about the Saints yet. Like,
I'm throwing them down into tier 4.
I feel like they're a little lower of the tiers.
So you have those guys, and, like, you have the 3 in tier 2 and the in-betweeners, and then tier 3 I'd put, like, you guys there, probably leading the pack. If the Lions aren't bordering, they're there.
The Falcons kind of surprised me.
The Colts are coming. Yeah.
Colts could
they have our old offensive coach, and, like, that's another, like, I think if we still had Shane, like...
Oh, we forgot the Dolphins. They are kind of... Oh,
Dolphins in tier 2 too.
Yeah.
I forgot about... How could I forget about the Dolphins?
There's a lot of teams.
Yeah, so...
Dolphins would be on tier 2, yeah.
We need, like, a picture board of this, but, I would put, the Colts, they have our old offensive coach. If we still had him, we'd probably be number 1 right now. Yeah. Well, maybe not, because our defense
There's a reason you don't, though.
Yeah.
So...
it sucks having, like, your foundation, like... that guy was just, like, a dream. And now look at what he's doing with the Colts. Like, oh, my gosh. I should have went with them in the pick. But, so I'd put the Colts in tier 3, the Lions, who else? Maybe the Titans, maybe the Chargers. I'm, like, losing faith on them. And then, like...
The whole thing with Cam Akers was really weird, huh? How they just deactivated him. Yeah. I didn't really dig into it much. But that was, like, right before the game started. That's what George was saying, like...
There's a few players that are, like, the other running back on the Browns. I forget his name. He also is inactive by coach decision.
Interesting.
Because I just assumed that Ford was RB2 when I went to pick him up. But apparently...
No. He was there. I mean, granted, he was on waivers, but...
It's Hunt.
Anybody needs a running back, yes. Kareem
Hunt.
I thought about picking him up, too, and just seeing who, like, the play will be for them.
Is it a contract thing? I don't know. Like, it's just...
I don't know enough about that right now. Ford definitely looked like the guy last night, though. My goodness.
He looked good week 1, too.
Yeah.
And it was confusing because he's number 34 and Chubb is 24.
Oh.
And sometimes, and they're built the same. And I'm like, there would be times last week where I was like, yeah, big Chubb. And then it was Ford. And I'm like, who's this Ford guy?
I feel so bad about Chubb.
Bro, I know. That was just heartbreaking.
Man, that injury, like, I don't mind seeing things like that. I don't want to say enjoy it, obviously not, but I'm like one of those weird people that love like medical stuff and like surgical stuff, so like watching a bone break doesn't really freak me out, but that's
like got a weird fascinating thing
it is
about
it's like you kind of want to like watch
understand
a car wreck, you know? Yeah, but that was gruesome. Like the knee like went the complete other way.
And it wasn't even was his foot turned around, or I don't think so. I think it was just
it just
over here,
and you know,
and the
like
skin was keeping it all together.
Yes, like we were talking earlier, we didn't know. They didn't really come out and say if it was a broken bone, but you had a good point. You were like, I don't know if the bone broke. It just kind of looked more like ligament stuff.
Like his lower leg didn't look broken. Like
I mean, you didn't add.
But the knee
doctors,
just,
obviously.
I mean, you can break a knee. You can separate bones in your knee.
Right.
So.
And the same injury happened when he was in college. Like
on
same
the
exact
same leg.
ACL, LCL, MCL. I can't imagine. As someone that's having LCL tendonitis on the regular, I can't imagine how that must feel. Ugh.
Dude, what is
wishing you all the best.
What is, I know. I
aside, not that you're watching our show.
It's annoying because, like, I went on to the discussions on him to see if, like, anybody that, like, had seen, like, is he going to be out? And just the amount of people that were just like, well, there goes my fantasy. I'm like,
yeah, be human
first
for a
of all,
second.
no, like, your fantasy is still fine, but just stop.
Be human for a second, yeah. Can you imagine what that guy's going through? Because that could end his career. He's not young. This is the second time.
I wanted to give him a hug. Like, I just felt so sad.
And even
the Steelers fans, like, I mean, I've never not seen a serious injury at an away game where the fans still, like, are respectful.
Right,
like, that always
really
happens, but they were just really, like...
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And you know what's terrifying is all these Monday Night Football injuries. I just know. And you know who plays Monday Night Football next week?
You guys?
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Gulp. But we're not the primetime game.
Okay.
So, not that I'm hoping that there's going to be another Monday night tragedy, but like...
I said it to George last week. I'm like, I feel like there's a Monday Night Football curse.
Don't say that, please.
I know, I shouldn't. This is wood. Knock on it.
Is it, or is it composite?
It's probably composite synthetic. But whatever.
Please let the Eagles and everybody else on Monday Night Football
Injuries
be okay.
suck, man. We want to see people play football.
Well, now you're saying that Burrow has this calf injury. Yeah. That's the primetime Monday night game, is the Bengals. And I forget who they're playing, but it's them.
Wow. Well, we'll see.
Please, let's get through a Monday with no tragedies. Oh my gosh.
Seriously. Weird.
Anyway.
Anywho.
So,
what? Okay.
Did you have any more tiers?
Our tier system?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's just hard when I don't have teams in front of me. Okay, let's see. I have this list here.
Basically, anybody I didn't mention, except for the Commanders, I would put them in the third tier, too.
Yeah, I feel like I know the Jags lost, but there was a
hard... Oh, my God. They're a teetering one.
Yeah.
They're a teetering
they had a hard
2 and 3.
matchup.
Yes.
I feel like the Jags are like silent killers.
I like that. Mm-hmm. They just couldn't get anything going in that game.
I agree. Trevor Lawrence had kind of a stinker too. He's my quarterback in fantasy in one of my leagues, and that didn't help my situation this week either.
Him in the end zone, he just kept overthrowing. They showed a replay of like all the passes that could have been touchdowns. They were caught, but then like it was to the point where even like the toes just couldn't be dragged.
Yeah, for sure.
And the receivers can only do so much. So
and I think Jets, like, how do we feel about the Jets? Zach Wilson is not the guy, but I kind of do like the fact that they're going to roll with him.
Can I really judge the Jets after playing the Bills and then the Cowboys?
They have a hard schedule. Yeah.
They looked promising in like the first quarter of the game, and then they just kind of
This week we're going to get more of a taste of what they are, I think, because they're against the Patriots. So I feel like that's kind of
but the Patriots are also one of those teetering teams. They played 2 back-to-back hard games.
So they're more on an equal playing field. Maybe we'll see more of what they're really about this week. Obviously, as time goes on, too, we're going to know more. But
that might actually be a really good game.
I think so. I think so, too. So, yeah, I think I'm very much on the same page as you with our tiers. What are your tiers?
What do you think about the Chargers?
I think they're a good team. I think they're going through some
Am I just bitter because they got me knocked out of my survival league?
They're a good team. I
want them to be a good team.
Third tier as well.
Good third tier? I'd put them at the lower end of it.
Yeah, I think they're better than the Packers.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. You guys are also going through your own form of growing
Definitely,
pains.
and we have a lot of injuries.
You have... Okay, so actually, I guess... Well, I'll finish that thought. You guys have... You're going in a direction.
Absolutely.
And you just, each week you're presented with a new problem, and we'll see how you move on from that. Like, I don't know what happened in your game, how it ended up. I mean, I know what happened, but I don't know why it happened, I guess, because you guys were looking so solid, especially at the start of that half.
We just fizzled out. We lost a lot of we had 2 defensive injuries that were really...
Maybe that's all it took, because they barely beat you guys.
And didn't play, so
they have 2 really good running backs that just complement each other really well.
I think it was a lot of just, like, injuries on defense towards the end of the game, and then, just that kind of thing. We fizzled out.
Yeah.
I have so many...
We'll go into it a little bit more.
I have to think about
that. But yeah, the Giants, I put them maybe... I don't know
what
to say about this.
Who are they?
And it's annoying because, of course, I had to open my big mouth, and I never shit talk.
It was 0 to 20, and we were like, oh my God. And I was like saying, at this point, I just hope they don't get any points this season, because that in itself would be an accomplishment.
Could you imagine?
You'd
get like the first round pick probably for like 5 years.
Yeah, that would be hard to achieve.
So it was funny because like I never shit talk, like publicly shit talk. I might shit talk like at the table with my friends, but I never like post things and but like it was more out of like, this is incredible, but I had posted about how, because they didn't score until after halftime, so I was just
like 90 something minutes with
just 90 minutes. I was like, wow, 90 minutes into the season and the Giants still have not scored a single point. And I got a little like flack on it from some of my Giants.
We're also drinking.
Only like 1 or 2. And then of course the Giants come back and win that game, and I'm just like, well, you're welcome. It's because I jinxed myself, and that's just why I don't shit talk. But
karma keeps you in check.
Funny. I'm happy for them though. Like the Giants are like my little brother team. Yeah. Like I don't want to like them because they're in the same division, but
it's like
they're entertaining.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt for so many years about the Lions. I'm just like, this is cute.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. I'll support you. But now it's like,
I play them and then they beat me.
Exactly.
Like, oh, this is not fun. I should have never said anything.
But hey, they're fun to watch, and this week, that'll be an interesting one.
Oh, will it?
Anything can happen. It's football.
Let's get into this. I just want to get into this.
I know. It's going to prompt more conversations.
Yeah, okay. So for week 3, we're going to give our predictions. But as we give our predictions, we'll just kind of do little summaries of each team's performance.
About this week.
Yeah. And then we'll go with our picks.
Okay, cool.
So Thursday night, we have the Giants at 49ers. Oh, do you have your board?
I do.
Right here.
I should probably erase this.
Oh, by the way, Christine totally blew me out of the water. This is probably the best prediction week that either of us have had since we've started filming.
I think we gotta go to Vegas and start putting some money in stuff in Vegas.
She got 12 out of 16 picks correct, which is just super impressive.
This is my comeback year. I'm going to turn it around this year.
And all the games, actually, I think all the games in general were just pretty close. But the ones you missed was the Chargers, which went to overtime. You missed the Packers, which obviously you're going to go with the Packers. We talked about that.
I
don't really count that as the Bengals, which that game ended up being pretty close, and the Lions, which that game ended up being pretty close. Yeah. So good for you. I got 9.
That's still great.
Better than last week.
Hey.
But this week I'm serious.
Yeah.
So
no risk taking.
So for week 3 we have Giants at 49ers. kind of already talked a lot
about
this.
And the Niners.
Yeah. Still
and
not...
they're playing in San Francisco, so that obviously adds an element of...
Go easy on them. It just is annoying because the Giants are going to make the 49ers look...
really dominant?
Better than what I think they are. But maybe they won't.
Exactly.
But what about...
What
about Saquon Barkley being out? We completely forgot to talk about that.
We did. 3 weeks. What did they say it was? Like an ankle?
I don't know, but I think we all just assumed it was a high ankle sprain.
And the way he reacted on the sideline made it seem so much worse.
I think he was frustrated,
I think he was too. But it made it seem so bad. Like, I was like, oh, shit, is this an ACL? That's
what I thought. I was like, is he out for the season? But, it ended up just being ankle. Yeah. And nothing too serious. Nothing unlike him.
Yeah, true. So with Saquon being out, that's definitely... Hopefully Waller will get more work this week because I do have him.
What are the Giants going to do? Are they going to not score any points again? Like,
I kind of hope so.
I don't. I mean, I do, because if they lose, then that's another loss in the division for my division.
So this is a win-win situation for you.
No.
Okay.
When two teams you don't... It's not even that I don't like the Giants, but I just like... It's not even that I don't like the 49ers. They just annoy me. Their fans are annoying. I don't know why my Facebook feed gives me these, like, 49er posts about how great they are, and I'm like... Ugh.
I always get that. Like, when I'm on Reddit, it'll suggest that I join the Chicago Bears subreddit, and I'm like, why? Ignore.
Yeah.
And then the next
time I'm on there, every time.
I should block that.
5 more will pop up in their place. Trust me.
It'll be like,
you're just
you should like the Minnesota Vikings subreddit, and then I'll even puke in my mouth more.
Sorry, what were you gonna say though? You were about to say something about the 49ers.
Oh, I feel like you're more passionate with your hate with the 49ers than I am, and I have more reason to be. They've ripped my heart out. My heart and soul. My soul have left my body.
It's just I think they got everybody fooled. Like, I'm not, again, this is like really complicated because I acknowledge that they're winning and they're a good team and they have a really good coach and they have really good players. But I think it's all just like a mask. Like, to the core, like, again, like, I think if you took some of their good players and spread them out onto other teams, they would not be doing as well. I get what you're saying. And even, like, you are shocked every time I say that I'm not, like, super impressed with McCaffrey because, like, so far 2 weeks now, he has had a really strong first quarter and then kind of fizzles out in the second, third, and definitely the fourth.
Yeah.
And then each week they have, like, their superstars. So, like, week 1 was Ayuk.
Yeah.
Did he get injured or did I dream that?
No, he did. Okay. He's dealing with, what was it? Not collarbone, not ribs, shoulder, something.
So just maybe 2 or 3, 4 weeks at the most?
Hopefully. I don't know. They said it's just like a day-to-day type of a thing.
Oh, so he might even be
back.
He'll probably be limited, though.
He'll be limited.
And then this week was Debo was the superstar. And, I mean, Debo, I just always forget about him, but he is a fantastic football player.
He's a dual threat. Like, he's got a lot of, he can be a running back, he can be a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of why the 49ers are a little bit difficult with fantasy because they have a lot of weapons there and they spread the ball out a lot. So 1 week it might be this guy, the other week it's that guy.
But to the flip side of that, their defense is really strong, so they kind of like keep the offense on the field a lot longer.
Yep, that's a good point too. Anyway, I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do we even have to write this down? But we will.
I don't even know if I'll watch this game. I probably will.
Oh my god, you have to watch that game. You gotta root for the Giants to get 0.
49ers. Told you guys I'm being serious this week.
There you go.
How cool would it be if the Giants end up beating the 49ers?
That's what I'm saying, and I feel like that would be really fun.
I feel like I never have ever wrote 49ers down. I feel like I always write San Fran.
I just put 49.
Okay, so then we have the Falcons at Lions. I was a little disappointed that the Lions didn't win. I don't even know what happened.
I can't really say I know what happened. I was facing the TV at the bar, but obviously my attention was on the Packers game the whole time, and it just looked like the game was very close. At the beginning, I feel like I saw a lot of like Seahawks touchdowns, and then the Lions would answer back. That's kind of what it seemed like.
I wonder if that was a good game and we just had so much going on.
I guarantee it was a really good game. There was a table in front of us at the bar of annoying Seahawks fans. Like they were
so obnoxious.
So annoying, but I just felt like they were cheering constantly, so it had to be a good game.
They were more annoying
than the weird guy at the bar?
That guy was just arrogant. I was going to say they were more annoying than the Patriots fans that I dealt with in week 1.
It was just like a lot of woo, woo.
They were lady woos.
Woos, exactly. Like that's fine. If you're feeling your team, that's amazing.
But it was like, I feel like every time someone caught the ball, every time somebody got a first down, and I'm just like, we were too close to them.
It was just a lot of Ric Flair.
Yeah, we were just too close to them. And like, to be honest, I think that's the first time I've ever been around a Seahawks fan.
So when we went to Lambeau on the on-field tour or whatever, there was 2 Seahawks fans taking the tour with us just because they loved football, and they were the nicest people. And I was like, I want to hate you because, again, like the Niners, the Seahawks have ripped my heart out many times. But they were the nicest. I know. They break my heart. But they were the nicest people, so I don't know.
I'm sure these people were nice. I just would never want to watch a football game with them ever again.
Oh, and the lady, like, I feel like the lady was like, the one that was sitting next to us at the table at first and then, like, gravitated to the other table with all those people. She was wearing, like, a Packers hat, so she, like, fooled me. And then she took it off. It was, like, her friend's hat, and she was, like, in Seahawks mode.
Oh.
Did you notice her?
Okay, I did, but my theory on it was that she just wanted the Lions to lose.
Maybe, because
so
she's
that
a Packers fan.
You guys could be the number 1 team in the division.
Which we still are.
So, but it was crazy because it just happened that every time she was celebrating whatever she was celebrating, bad things were happening to the Packers.
Yeah.
So the bar is dead quiet, and she's celebrating in this cheesehead hat. Like, so I was like, girl, look where you're at right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a tough one. I'm not quite sold on the Falcons just
I'm not quite sold on the Falcons yet either.
But they're also, like, they make it work.
They do. Bijan looked fantastic running against us.
Yeah.
But we were thin on defense.
I don't know much about the Lions defense except that one kid. He was a rookie last year.
Hutchinson. Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, he's good. But he's good at the passing stuff. Not really. I guess he's good at
no, he's fantastic.
He's a beast.
I honestly, I gotta say, I like what I'm seeing with the Falcons. This
is a tough one.
Right. I think I like a little more what I'm seeing with the Lions.
Me too. Yeah. I went with the Lions. Who did the Falcons play week 1? Do we remember?
Who did they play?
Did they win?
Was it Carolina? I think it was Was it Carolina? Or was it the Titans?
No, Titans was
that would
the
have made
Saints.
sense. No, so I think it was Carolina.
Okay.
And they won. Yeah, the Falcons are 2-0 right now.
Wow, they're 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Carolina's 0-2.
All right, next we have the Chargers at the Vikings. Both 0-2 teams, so one of them will finally get a win. You know what's crazy, and like you're gonna hate me for a second, but like I feel bad for Kirk Cousins because I think he's taking all the blame for the losses, but
Kirk Cousins has been solid.
He has been hitting all of his passes.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Like, he's not the problem.
Yeah, I think it's their defenses.
Last week Jefferson couldn't catch anything and still managed to have a lot of points.
Yeah.
But like against you guys, he did he dropped so much.
I don't know how they
the touchback.
Well, they still scored. What did they score? 27 points? That's not bad. That's not a bad amount of points to score. And like,
I mean, there was a lot of things that just kind of went wrong, you know, like the touchback with Jefferson.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Crazy. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to understand like how that happened because like I guess I always just never saw something like that before, and
there was a lot of things this week with
crazy
like that.
Yeah,
that like made you understand like little like detail rules, like in our game with the Falcons. Who was that caught that pass?
It was on the Falcons.
They were on the Falcons, yeah, and it looked like it should have been a touchdown.
Maybe? His name started with an H?
I don't remember.
I don't know any of the Falcons receivers.
But I guess to me, even as a Packer fan, I was like, no, that's a touchdown. But then obviously it got called back. It wasn't a touchdown. And then I read something in the rules later on that it depends on the body position in the end zone. So if your body is facing, the field in the end zone, like your back's towards the goalpost, your heels have to, or your toes and heels have to be down. But if you're facing either side of the end zone, like left or right, then it just has to be toes. Yeah. Like, who would know that stuff?
It kind of makes sense, though, because, like, the sides, you're moving. Like, it's a leading moving. But, like, when you're facing the quarterback, like, you're not, like, I mean, you are backpedaling, but you're going to stop. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like, visually, I get it. It makes sense to me, because those are, like, your stopping points.
I mean, when things like that happen, you learn more. Yeah. So it's pretty cool to see stuff like that.
So... yeah, the Vikings, I feel like they're kind of just, like, the opposite of, like, what I was saying about Dak. How he's just, like, in this really good, like, surrounded in this good situation. Like, the Vikings are just kind of, like, they're doing not bad, but because they aren't winning, people are thinking they're terrible. Like, I was venting to you.
They're far from terrible.
Yeah, I was venting to you about the one guy that does the Thursday Night Football. Oh, my God, I already forgot his name. And he was basically saying how he thinks that the Vikings should trade
Kirk Cousins
to the Jets because they're not going to the playoffs anyway. And I'm like, it is week 2.
Yeah, I was
and it was
say,
Thursday night football before that game even started. Right. And you're already saying this. I'm just like, you don't know. Like, look at the Bengals last season, and they went all the way to the AFC Championship
and they started kind of similar to how they're starting their season this year.
Yeah, I'm like, flat. You do not know. Like, I think if the Vikings did trade, like, they still have good weapons. They have Hawkinson's, and they have Jefferson, sorry.
And Madison and Addison, which is, when we were watching your game, I was like, George, do you notice a trend here? He's like, what? I'm like, Addison, Madison, Jefferson. Like, they have, like, O-N, I-N.
Hawkinson.
Their
names are getting
I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, is this, like, how they draft?
You know what's crazy is, like, the S-O-N is, like, a Viking...
Oh, really?
Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, like, a lot of people that have that in their last name, usually, like, that comes from, like,
what if that's, like, their draft strategy? Like, they only get a list, like, on draft day of, like, the S-O-N,
Yeah,
I-N.
it's S-O-N or S-E-N.
Yeah.
Like, both of them.
That's like, so cool.
Yeah, so
funny.
It's just, like...
But, yeah, you know me. I'm very passionate with my Vikings hate, and... I'm not worried about the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, he's fine.
They have so many good players on their team to, like, just not be winning. Like, I feel for them.
Yeah, but I did say going into this season, I do not think the Vikings are going to do what they did last season, but I don't think they're going to be bad by any means. Like, I feel like Bears are, like, down here. I don't think the Vikings are on that level.
Did the Vikings not go to the playoffs last year? I thought they did.
They did. They lost in their first... Yeah, they won our division. They lost the first game in the playoffs.
To the Giants, I think.
I think so.
Anyway, so yeah, back to Chargers at Vikings. I think my marker is running out of ink.
Do you want another one?
If they're nearby, if not, I can make this work.
I can give you a new one. Wait, okay.
I went with the Vikings.
I want the Chargers.
Okay. This is a tosser, you know.
Like, it is. As I was writing that, I was like, I'm not sure I like what I'm doing right now.
The thing with the Chargers is I feel like they just keep getting in their own way. They totally could have won that game, but their defense just, like, kept making these bad mistakes, like penalties at the worst times, and it kind of helped from what I saw. I'll try the... I can't go with blue.
I know. I pulled it out and I was like, this is dumb.
I want to go with the green, but I think they don't work.
Here, try that.
Okay.
I didn't even know we had another black one.
Beautiful.
Love it.
I'm going with this one.
Nice neutral black.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting game too. I think those teams are kind of like on par with each other. Like they just keep getting themselves in these situations that it's like too far gone to get themselves out.
Totally.
So we'll see what happens with them. Then we have the Saints at Packers.
Finally, our first home game of the season.
Yay.
It's good to be back at Lambeau. This is an interesting one because I feel like the Saints are looking kind of decent.
You do?
They're another team like the Falcons. I'm just not sure what to make of them yet.
I think
it's a very similar matchup again.
So are the Saints 2-0 right now
yes,
too?
The
I think that they just kind of like tripped through the door. You know what I mean?
I kind of feel a similar way, and now Jamal's not
sold.
there. Olave looked good.
Is he definitely?
He's got a hamstring. I bet he'll be out this week. Hamstrings are fussy.
Definitely limited. Well, this helps me with my decisions on my who do I play, who do I not play.
Yeah.
I haven't really been like impressed with Jamal Williams as much as I thought I was.
No, he did a lot more with the Lions. That's for sure. He had an insane season last season.
But it wasn't until like week 3, week 4 that I think he kind of like started popping off. So who's the guy on the Saints? Thomas. What's his first name?
Michael Thomas.
Oh, I was gonna say that, but I'm like, no, that's not his name. He did really good.
Yeah, no, he's always consistent.
But then like Derek Carr is just
Derek Carr didn't look right being Derek Carr. I also think this is the last week without Kamara, so once they get him back, that's gonna change things. Which I'm very grateful that he won't be there for our game.
Yeah,
he's scary. So I like that this game's at Lambeau. Packers might get Watson back this week.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with Bakhtiari. They said it's his knee again, which is never great because that's what he was dealing with for the last 3 years. But then also there was all this talk that he just didn't want to play on a turf field this week because of the whole Rodgers injury, which would really be shitty. Like, I hope that's not the case because, like, you're going to have Rodgers back, which I respect, but you're going to not be there for your team because of that. So I don't hope it was the knee thing, but I hope we get Bach back. That's all I'll say about that. And then Aaron Jones. Hopefully he'll come back.
Yeah.
If we have all those guys back, I'll feel very confident. Because Jordan Love, I have nothing bad to say. Yeah. I don't think Jordan Love lost that game.
No.
He was accurate. He was spot on. Even watching Deshaun Watson last night play, like, he's not a bad quarterback, but Jordan Love just looks very accurate.
Yes.
And very composed. It just looks like a different level quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I think that he did look a little, when you guys were in that final seconds of the game. That was the only time where he just looked a little like...
And there was that, like, quarterback sneak thing, and he kind of, like, tripped.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you probably weren't watching at that moment. Damn. That was, like, a little, but I agree. He did look, like, a little nervous and maybe a little frustrated at the end of that game.
There was a lot of pressure on him in those moments, and it's an away fan base. So,
right.
I think he looked really good, the parts that I saw. He was on a roll. Like, man, when you guys came out in the second half, and I think you scored a touchdown right away, or you either stopped them, like they went 3 and out, and then you got the ball and scored a touchdown right away. I was like, they're going to keep scoring. And then, like, your third quarter was pretty strong, but then the momentum shifted to the Falcons. And it happens sometimes.
Just from watching the Packers for so many years, like, this is just what we do sometimes. We just let it go. We just fizzle out. The momentum changes, and it's just a typical Packers thing to do.
It was a really enjoyable game to watch.
Some of the throws that Jordan Love made, it looked just like Rodgers this week. It was crazy, some of the things he did. And then there was one to, like, I think it was Wicks in the end zone, and I don't think it counted as a touchdown. I think one of the Falcons' defensive guys batted it down. It was just, the throw was beautiful.
I remember you saying something like that.
I was just, like, having a moment watching that throw.
I don't remember when it was, but I remember you, like, saying, like, he looks just like Rodgers.
He does. Like,
he does.
It's insane. I don't know. It just looks different than a lot of, like, the mid-tier quarterbacks I'm seeing playing football that are just, like, fine quarterbacks, but not elite. Like, I think Jordan Love, maybe next year or the year after, will be
once he's been,
the guy.
Gets all his, like, first season jitters out. Right. Like, he's looking very... I mean, you got to think, too, like, there is so much pressure on him right now. Like, playing for a city like Green Bay. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he's holding his own really well.
I think so, too. And he looks very mature. Like, he's a humble guy like Jalen Hurts, which I love about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I love the love for Love.
I support you, Jordan Love. I'm so stoked for you to be my quarterback. I really am.
That's such a good feeling.
Yeah, so, I can't really, what I'm going to do here.
Yeah, I think you guys will be fine.
I hope so. I'm happy to be back at Lambeau this week.
I want the Packers.
I
just think you guys have yourselves together a little bit more than the Saints. And
Totally.
I have a good feeling about your defense this
Me
week.
too, and I hope if everybody comes back, it'll be nice to see the offense all together.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
If Christian comes back, are you thinking he's going to be like full force or still kind of limited, or what was his injury again? A hamstring?
Hamstring. We've
What's
just
with
a
all
ton
these
of
hamstring
hammies
injuries?
this year. The Packers are notorious for being very conservative with injuries, so I would think if Watson's on the field, then he's going to be fine.
Okay.
So we'll see.
And maybe I put him in my flex instead of Zay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Things to consider.
We'll see.
Okay. So then we have the Texans at Jacksonville. So this one's kind of an easy decision for me.
Me too.
With the Texans and the Colts game, like, they just couldn't get anything going with them. And they just got ran right over.
That team just looks really young.
Yeah, and they haven't made.
They're definitely going through the growing pains.
Do they have a new coach too? I think it's his first
they do have
head
a new
coaching
coach.
job. I think. I could be wrong about the head coaching job thing.
I hate to say this, I don't really pay attention to the Texans very often.
I just feel like I remember reading something and kind of having this oh, wouldn't it be cool if this team with the number one drafted player and a brand new coach. It might just be a brand new coach, and they really actually are a good team. Yeah,
because
a lot of
very
people
rare.
were sent to that team. Singletary went to that team. Dalton Schultz went to that team. I'm leaving someone else out that went there. That was a big player, or not.
I know.
The greatest, but
I feel like I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of it right now either. Anyway.
They have Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce.
Which
he couldn't really get a lot done this week.
Yeah, I don't think he really did a whole lot. I was kind of watching that game. So the games that I had in front of me was that game with the Colts. The Colts were just on a roll. I know. They were.
Anthony Richardson looks so good.
He really did.
Until the concussion happened.
Yeah, but that was really bad.
Yeah.
And then they still held it together.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, that game was crazy. And then, so I had that game, the Packers and the Falcons, and then I had the Bengals and the Ravens. And I felt like I was, primarily watching that game because I just was, praying for Zay.
I know. Allie just kept saying,
and I'm just
maybe
I
this
should
time.
stop watching this game. But on the flip side of this, with Jacksonville, I don't think that they definitely didn't play their best game against probably one of the toughest teams to play right now. But that being said, I did not think the Chiefs looked all that great. I just think they kind of capitalized on some weaknesses with Jacksonville, and Jacksonville just couldn't. They just, it wasn't even that they couldn't adjust. They just could not get anything.
Ridley couldn't catch anything.
Yeah, they just, like I said before,
ETN.
they just were getting in their own way, and it just. I kept having
Christian Kirk had a game though, right? He had a decent game, I think.
Who did?
Christian Kirk on the Jags.
I mean, I think they only scored once. So how?
I think he was just the most targeted.
I don't know. I feel like ETN did a lot of
ETN did more. Yeah, but
the
Ridley
work.
We were both just get Calvin Ridley involved, and then you'll be fine.
I think he got
easier said than done.
He got tweaked earlier in the game, I think, or maybe it was in the second quarter at the start of the second half. I can't really remember.
The goalpost thing?
No, it was before that.
That was before that.
Yeah, and
that was towards the end, right? The goalpost.
Yeah, and I think he still went back in after the goalpost thing, but he just, I don't know, it. Just things weren't going right. It just wasn't their day.
No, but all the potential in the world is there.
Yeah.
But every team's going to have a day off, or an off day, I should say.
Right. I mean, the Giants didn't score any points until 91
maybe
minutes
this
in
is
the game. So
just like my turd of a week, maybe this was their turd of a week, and it's out the way now.
Yeah, I would not be worried as a Jacksonville fan.
No.
I think
just fine.
Come playoffs, if those two teams face each other again, I mean, they have they played each other last season.
That was a great game.
It was a close game, and I think that they just will get it figured out by then.
I think so too.
Still think they're going to take the division.
I do too.
Yeah, so
100%.
I went with Jacksonville.
Me too, Jags. So we've only differed on one matchup so far.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
All right. This is another kind of easy one. We got the Broncos at Dolphins. One thing I will say about the Broncos, probably, yes. How often do we get to see that?
It was crazy.
I loved it.
It's so funny because, like, I think before that happened, we were, like, all have a conversation about, like, how Russell Wilson's just, like, aged. And, like, I think I was saying, like, he's my age. He's 34 or whatever. And everybody's like, yeah, he's toast. He's done. And then the Hail Mary happened, and it was just kind of ironic and funny.
Yeah, like
don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to run it back and be MVP of the league this season by any means.
He's definitely looking better this year than he did last year.
Oh, God.
For sure.
It's because he didn't say Broncos country, let's ride this year. I think that was like a
trash that?
I think they trashed it just because it was just so bad last season.
I forgot about that. You have a good memory with these
No,
things.
I don't. That was just funny.
But, yeah, oh my God, that was just so cool. Like, it was so exciting.
Yeah, that Hail Mary was really cool.
Yeah, and
that makes me a football fan, stuff like that.
Oh my God, because they did Kirk Cousins did a Hail Mary in our game. And
that didn't go so well.
No, thank God. And,
thank God.
I would have been so annoyed. But it was crazy. Also, too, his Hail Mary pass, like, if it had been caught, he would have been taken down right away. Yeah. It was not anywhere near the end zone. It wasn't going to get anywhere. Oh my gosh, that was just so exciting. And then I really thought they were going to get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Okay, remind me how it happened. It was a catchable ball, right?
Yeah.
And he was running forward like this, and it hit his hands, and he didn't get it? Did he have to go behind him to get it?
Oh, God.
I can't remember. But I think it was just
I feel like I remember the commentator saying something about, like, behind him. But I don't know. I don't have that good of a memory.
That just, like, flattened me after.
I know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
But the Dolphins... Whoops. That's my cat.
Damn.
I only saw the first quarter and a half of that game because I was just so tired by the end of the day.
Sleepyhead.
But
the end of that game was wild, and I can't even make sense of it because I kind of was like half asleep on the couch with that. But it like came down to the end of that game, and then a spot that was being measured, and it went the Dolphins' way. But I feel like the whole end of that game got overshadowed for me by the way Bill Belichick threw the challenge flag.
You showed me that. It was
so funny. He's just like, ugh. He's such an angry old man. I feel like he has only one look.
It was the way he, like, full body faced.
Oh, yeah, and he just waited for the moment of, like, the referee to, like, lock eyes with him, and then he was just, like, with the challenge flag. It was funny.
No words or nothing.
No.
Jesus.
But very interesting end to the game.
Did it get turned over, the call?
Yeah.
Or reversed, I guess.
Yeah, the spot.
So, wait, who had the ball?
The Patriots had the ball, and they were trying to get 4th down, I believe, because it was like, the clock was winding down, and then they measured the spot and said that, they were short. I believe that's how it happened, from what I recall. But, like, the spot was kind of controversial. Like, I think that the Patriots had it. I don't know. You'll have to watch it. It was really exciting. It was a good ending, but I was like half asleep too, so I was kind of in and out.
I wish we had more to say about it, but I know. I was a little surprised with how the Patriots were doing. Like, so now I know we're kind of past this, but I would also put them in that like tier 3.
Yeah, it's like a slow climb.
They're definitely better than I thought they were this year. And I just think that again, same thing. Like they just got a really tough schedule, and I just don't think they're like at the caliber of all the other teams that are making the schedule tough.
Definitely.
So they're just a little bit more beatable.
Not a bad team.
But anyway, we're talking about the Broncos and the Dolphins. I'm definitely knowing what I'm doing with this.
Yeah, me too. Whoa, I just... okay.
I went with the Dolphins.
Fins up. Me too. That's a good-looking team.
Yes.
They're fun, too. That's fun to watch. Very, very fun. And I think for some reason, I'm thinking or remembering that maybe the end of that game, was it something with Mike Gesicki, who used to be on the Dolphins? Maybe he was the one that caught the ball, which is kind of interesting, you know? But, I don't know. We need to rewatch it because it was a really interesting ending.
All right. Next, we got the Texans at the Browns.
Browns.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Titans.
Titans. At the Browns. Browns.
So I have something to say in light of this Nick Chubb thing that I can't credit that this was my thought because it was in. I was doing all this reading because like it didn't really like. I don't know even still at this point if it officially came out that Nick Chubb is out for the season.
Right. I mean, anybody with eyes would see that he definitely will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if they've officially said that yet.
And then, so like, I was just like, you know, doing all this like before I make the decision to drop him from my roster, which I ended up just moving into IR just because I could, and I'll deal with it later. But I was like reading about, like, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the Browns, but like, something that was interesting was like, somebody made a comment about how like now Deshaun Watson is going to have to like basically like show that he is worth, because I feel like he was just using his running backs as like this like mask.
Okay.
And hasn't really been doing a lot of like quarterback duties.
Okay.
And I think that he is now going to have to kind of like
show who he is.
Yeah, and I just don't.
I wasn't impressed when he threw the ball last night. I was just like, didn't look very spot on.
I think he looked a lot better in the game against the Bengals, which is surprising because it was raining that game.
Right.
But he kind of took charge that game, I feel like. And then this game just, again, I did not watch the whole game, but just from what I saw, like, he just looked very
mediocre.
Yeah,
I felt the same way. Nothing impressive.
It's crazy because, like, I guess defense really won that game. So Steelers defense, I think, had two turnovers. I don't know if they were 2 turnovers that led to touchdowns or 2 pick sixes or whatever happened or like. But
fumbles, I think, too.
Yeah.
TJ Watt's just a maniac. I think he broke the record too for like most sacks in Steelers history in a single season.
Wow.
Or something like that. No, that couldn't be
single
right.
season.
No,
he did it all in 2 days.
No, it'd be an entire. Yeah, I would believe it though. Honestly, no, it wasn't single season, but yeah, something
maybe
in like
just
franchise history in general.
I could see that.
That
and he'll only get
crazy.
more. Yeah, and
he'll only get more. Yep.
I feel like Kenny Pickett is like, well, he actually had a couple good passes.
He did. The Pickett to Pickens connection was solid.
He's figuring it out. Like I said, like last week, I'm like, you know, I'm not giving up on the Steelers just yet, and I'm still kind of like, I think that they are hanging in there. They're also in one of those like really brutal divisions, probably the most aggressive divisions, and
yeah, I like them. Yeah. I always have a heart for the Steelers. I feel like they're like a franchise kind of similar to the Packers, where it has like a lot of history and.
Sometimes they annoy me, but they're like again like a little brother. They're the other Pennsylvania team.
Yeah, that's true. You can't entirely hate your brother. Maybe a little bit.
But yeah, so the Browns again, like I think they have a lot of missing parts. The Browns are just the Browns.
Totally, but I personally feel like I'm seeing a lot of potential with the Browns. Like, they look a lot better than they typically do, to me. Like, they could have won that game last night.
It was close.
And I think I saw something like if they had won, it would have been like the first time they were 2-0 in like 47 years or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're definitely not the same team they were like 5 years ago, for sure. The Titans, I don't know
how to feel about the Titans.
I was going to say I think they're like a dark horse team, too.
You do?
Like,
Derrick Henry can't go wrong.
No, and like Tannehill has been making things happen.
He always seems to. And he's another one where I'm like, maybe he'll fall off this year, but he kind of always just pulls it off.
Yeah. But I'm not sold because, again, you know, we mentioned it when we were talking about the Chargers. Like, I think that their defense kind of helped them get that win with their mistakes.
This is a very hard decision. I don't know.
For me, it stood out.
It stood out?
A little bit.
All right. You ready? Made your choice?
I went with the Titans.
I went Tits.
You did? I thought you were writing Browns.
I thought about it, but I was
I thought I saw you write an O.
feel like this is the week the Browns are gonna be the Browns
This
again.
could be a close game though.
Yeah, totally.
I think so.
Totally.
Okay, then we have, sorry, I have it so condensed on this sheet.
Bills Commanders.
Yes, Bills Commanders.
Commanders.
Commanders are like kind of being this sleeper team also. They had a really rocky first week with that Arizona game, and also looked like they were kind of like fixing to lose on Sunday and just like made it work. And I know George is a big Howell supporter too.
Yeah, a Howell believer and a Dotson believer.
I don't even think Dotson's really been doing that much though.
Not as much as like I have had in my ear. You better draft this guy in every league, babe. So he's like sitting on my bench, just racking up 3 points here, 3 points there.
They got Brian Robinson. Like that dude is crazy.
I know. Yeah.
He is so good. I'm so happy that I got him this year. Because last year I had Gibson, and it was great until he got healthy, and then Gibson was
one of those
neglected.
Yeah.
Gibson did great until Brian Robinson came back.
I feel like he's always like that guy that like will get you points, but it's just never like, it's just like
this is also when they had Carson Wentz still.
True, that's true.
He had a couple weeks for me where he got like 15, 16 points in like the first few weeks. I mean, I think that game that we played them, he was the only one that really did much of anything. I think he got the only touchdown.
No, there you go.
But yeah, no, Robinson's the man.
Bills? I saw a little bit of that.
They destroyed the Raiders.
Josh Allen looked in Josh Allen form, finally.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think when you have these, like he takes risks.
He does.
Some quarterbacks are scared.
He is not afraid to get hurt.
Yeah. Some quarterbacks are scared to make that deep pass because of the interception. They're scared to get sacked.
Get picked off.
Yeah, and it's sad. I hate this, but I feel like Jalen Hurts is like slipping into that like worried, like
that was
I don't want to make a mistake quarterback.
Beef with Rodgers, like I always felt like he was more concerned about his stats than just winning a game because he would just never take a risk.
Yeah, whereas like Josh Allen just goes for it.
Yes, he does, and I think also with like the running and like he'll jump over guys, like well, he's a big dude. Exactly, he's like 6'5" or 6'6" or something, and so
he's aggressive out there, and it scares me. I hope he's not.
I know. Was it this week or the last week where we saw him do something and we were like, oh God, don't do that? I think it was the first week.
Because I think it was when we were together watching that game.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, because I couldn't really see that TV was like off to the side, but yeah, like Josh Allen just like he plays like he has something to prove, even though he doesn't really have. But maybe to him he still has something to prove. So
yeah, he's a gritty player.
Yeah, I'm back on the Bills train.
I am too.
Sure.
I am too.
And you have your choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for a division loss from the Commanders because I went with the Bills.
Let's go.
Everybody in my division won last week.
Everybody in my division lost, so we're still sitting pretty. Love it.
Okay, so then we have the Colts at Ravens.
I guess this depends a lot on Richardson's concussion protocol.
I mean, Minshew did just as well.
Yeah.
He had a couple moments of sporadic behavior like he always does.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember
feel this is easy for
when
me.
It was funny. So when Richardson was pulled out of the game, you had said something to me, and then like I didn't really think about it for a couple minutes, and then I'm just like, oh my God, who's in? Is it Nick Foles? And then we saw it was Minshew.
It was Minshew.
And I was like, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
And of course it would be Minshew, not Nick Foles.
You're always just in Nick Foles mode. Just always hoping.
I love
come
Nick
save
Foles.
the day. I know.
Foley
What's there not to like?
I know. Just come back to the Eagles and have one more season and retire with us and
win another Super Bowl.
Move there.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway.
I mean, we talked a little bit about the Ravens already with the whole Zay Flowers debacle with us.
The Ravens are 2-0 right now.
I like the Ravens. I'll say it again. When you went with them for one of your Super Bowl picks this season, I was like, it marinated with me for a few days, and I was like, wait, I like that. I like that.
I went with the Colts.
I went with the Ravens.
So this is gonna be my wild card pick for the week because there's gonna be one game where what we didn't expect happens.
Always.
And I think this might.
That's the one.
This one or the Broncos game, believe it or not, against the Dolphins. Like, part of me was just like...
You're right. There's always like a curveball somewhere in the schedule every week.
Ooh, this is a good one. Patriots at Jets.
This is an equal playing field game for me.
I feel like the Patriots have a better passing game and the Jets have a better running game and a better defense. But then the Patriots defense is really good at like screening plays, and like the Jets are just kind of like weak about like their plays aren't that creative.
At the beginning of the Jets-Cowboys game, I felt like they were kind of holding their own, but then again, just continued to like fizzle, and let it get out of hand.
Worse and worse.
Yeah. So, but they're coming off a really difficult game.
Yeah, but so is the Patriots. That's kind of what we said earlier. Like, they played two difficult teams, and the Patriots played two difficult teams. It's at Jets Stadium.
This is a really hard one. Are you writing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I kind of knew I was going to go with this, like, even when I was, like, looking at the schedule, so I'm just going to stick with my gut on it.
Golly, I have no idea what to do. I just got to pick one. Okay.
So while you write that, remember when we were at Slackers and you guys got the first touchdown of the game and that Jets fan was like...
Did he go Jay?
Yeah, like, he stood up. He's the only one that stood up. And he's like, yeah, Packers, Jets, Jets, for later. And everybody was happy, so though. Confused. And I think they were happy because of Aaron Rodgers being there. I think that's why that guy thought more people would be like...
I noticed a lot of Jets fans at the Packers bar this weekend.
There's always been Jets fans.
There's always been. It's kind of funny. It's like, I guess we all just feel the love.
I went with the Patriots.
I did too.
Okay.
Cool.
I just think that Mac Jones is a much better quarterback than Zach Wilson, and that's what this game is going to come down to.
I think so too. I like that theory.
Mac Jones reminds me of Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Where he's
very composed as well. Yeah. And accurate.
Yeah. He's got a great coach. Well, so does the Jets, though.
Yeah.
All right, then we have the Panthers at Seahawks. Pete Carroll doing his thing. Didn't really watch a lot of either of these games.
Agreed. I had the one kind of... I just saw a lot of Pete Carroll angry, chewing gum, screaming during that game, which is nothing unusual.
He's feisty. Yes. I will say the Panthers just kind of look like a hot mess. Like, Bryce Young... I don't know what he's doing out there, to be honest. He has good moments, and then he just, like... I don't know if it's their offensive line or what, but they just, again, they're just... Couldn't get anything going. Wait, they did win the Saints won. No, it was a close game.
It's close. Like, I feel like they're just on the verge of really figuring things out, but they're just not there yet.
Yeah. Do you know who you went with?
Mm-hmm. Seahawks.
Same.
They're at home.
Yeah.
They look like they
have momentum right now.
Oh, the Kenneth Walker benching, too. I did that this week. That was stupid. I tinkered. I took him out of my flex, and I put Dobbs in. And Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns. And Dobbs had, 4 points. There was, no Dobbs this week.
There was the one pass to him, but then I think he was out of bounds or something.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was a jabroni move, too. Won't do that again.
This next one, we have the Bears at Chiefs. Bears put up a little bit of
What if this is the curveball game?
I don't think so. There's no way that the Chiefs are going to have 2 curveballs and both are going to come from the same division.
At home.
Yeah. Travis Kelce still did not look that great.
No.
Compared to every other tight end out there, he looked amazing.
I feel like they were just obviously being conservative with him.
It wasn't even that, though.
I didn't really see anything.
Okay, again, I would just catch glimpses of the game, and, I felt like I just kept, looking up, and, Travis Kelce was just dropping the ball or getting tackled, and maybe he even had a fumble. I can't remember, but...
Chiefs just don't look as polished as they normally do.
Oh, and then what's his name? Kadarius Toney again.
I know.
Did we look to see if he's still on the team?
I think he's still there. I feel like that would have been everywhere if he got cut.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's going through a slump.
What is up with that guy? He needs a new pair of gloves or something.
He needs something. He needs a new pair of hands.
Oh, glasses?
Glasses.
Maybe? Yeah, get your eyes
Tony,
checked.
I know.
He's running the wrong direction. Like, what is going on?
Lance is distracted.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe he's going through something in his personal life.
I don't want that to be true, but like...
Yeah, it was rough. I don't know. The Chiefs' offense just doesn't look great right now. They just don't look in normal form at all.
They don't.
And every year I say, this is the year they fall off, or this could be it, and this is kind of... I mean, granted, it's week 2. I can't get ahead of myself, but it doesn't look as polished.
No.
At all.
I mean,
they look beatable.
Yeah, like you said, it is only week 2, but
they look beatable right now. But not beatable by the Bears.
Hell no.
I'm just gonna...
I went with the Chiefs, too.
Yeah,
drop my cap again. Chiefs.
Sorry, Bears, boys.
Are you, though?
Not really. I don't care.
Nothing's going right on that team.
No.
I mean,
I kind of feel for them because I love so many Bears fans. I have so many that I love.
Moore had a couple good plays. I feel like
finally.
I looked up and saw
Claypool, I feel like, did something this game. I don't know.
All right, then we have the Cowboys at Cardinals, but don't be sleeping on the Cardinals. Not saying I'm going to think they're winning. All right, we already went with the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to be on a roll for the next few weeks. But Arizona might put up more of a fight than the Jets did.
I could totally see that.
Their quarterback is, honestly kind of impressing me.
Yeah, no, I liked what I saw this week.
What's his last name?
Dobbs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a team I had 0 expectations for. And they're kind of...
Who are their wide receivers?
Oh, God, I don't even know who's on that team. Why is it... I can't think of his name right now. I mean, Ertz is there, we know.
It's not DeAndre Hopkins anymore.
No, Hopkins is the Titans now. Why can't... Marquise Brown?
It's crazy because to me,
Brown?
the Cardinals don't have, a lot of, standout players.
No,
but
they're
making
down.
It work, yeah.
But I don't think it's hard to figure out this matchup with what we've seen. I mean, we already talked about the Cowboys. Who
did the Cardinals play last week?
Giants.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. And they came out hot, and then... Yeah, I'm in no way thinking they're going to win, but I am curious to see how they hold up against the Cowboys.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Cowboys all the way, man. Defense is scary. Also, CD Lamb was way more involved this week.
Yeah, he had a good game. If he's ever not involved, I don't think it's his fault. I think it's...
Right.
The man throwing the ball. Okay, then we got the Steelers at Raiders. Okay, this is another interesting game.
I have not even paid attention to Devontae this year.
This must be the Sunday night game.
We're 2 years broken up now, so...
They only scored once, I think. Maybe they got a touchdown and a field goal.
I have not seen a single minute of Raiders football this season.
I mean, I saw their defense a lot when I looked over and was watching their game, but I didn't really see their offense ever.
I don't think I've even seen Jimmy G in the uniform yet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he looks like in the silver.
Yeah, probably good. Probably good, for sure. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do here. We already talked about the Steelers, too, so... Steelers?
I want Steelers,
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we got Monday Night Football, another doubleheader. We're in the 7:15 game, so I'm going to try to leave work early that day and go watch the game at my sister's since you and Ryan are both going to be out of town during my big night.
That's Monday.
Monday night in Tampa.
I'm going to be in Paris.
So if you guys were here, we'd probably actually be at the game, but we're not, which is fine.
Week 3 last year we were in Tampa.
Yeah, I've been to plenty of Tampa stadiums, and...
Honestly, after being at that Packers game last season and how hot it was...
This is a night game.
True. I definitely got heat sick, and I'm
get
a Floridian, so that's crazy.
Listen,
that's how hot it was.
If you were here and we went to this game that starts at 7:15, we would be watching the sunset.
Oh,
and
no,
it
that
would be
sounds
really,
lovely.
yeah, we'd have our Butterburgers, and we would be going to the Bucs Stadium, parking in that weird parking lot again, probably, or someone's driveway. And just watching the sunset, and hopefully the Eagles flying to another victory.
Romantic.
But anyway, the Bucs have been a little impressive this year. I'm not gonna lie. I did not have a lot of faith.
Another George theory. Baker Mayfield's gonna have a year.
Nah. Maybe until the playoffs, if they get there by default. And
this one's easy for me though.
Yeah.
I did want easy for you as well.
I did want to talk about a few things with our game that was just like so exciting. Obviously, I'm going to talk about DeAndre Swift, Philly boy, back in his hometown.
Man's looked
for
good.
His debut, breaking a record with 175 rush yards.
Holy moly! I feel like
cow.
Last week everybody was like, he's not going to have a year. And I'm like, it's still DeAndre Swift. Like, how can you not?
This style about him that I just really like, that maybe, like, it's, well, him and Kenny Gainwell are very similar. Whereas he's a little more seasoned and, like, probably has it perfected a little bit. I mean, this is only his 4th year in the NFL, I think.
Gainwell or Swift?
Swift. Gainwell, this is his 2nd year.
Swift was definitely with the Lions, what, like 2 or 3 seasons?
Yeah. I think it's his
maybe it's his 4th year.
So with Swift, like, comparing him to Miles Sanders, who was, like, our big runner last year, is, like, and me and my sister were talking about this, like, Miles Sanders just kind of, like, runs into the pile and, like, hopes for the best. I feel like he never had, like, full trust of the offensive line and just, like, went with it, whereas like Swift just like runs into battle and then pops out on the other side.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Every single time. And I'm just like, dude, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and he has that like power to like push for an, like, even as he's getting tackled, he'll still push for another 3 yards.
It's awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, we need a running back like that.
We were in such a dilemma in this game because we were just getting all these injuries. So
yeah, you guys were pretty injury riddled this week.
Yeah, like I already went over our defensive issues, but then we had a heavy running game, and we're down to 2 running backs.
Yeah.
And still pulled it
dominated.
Still pulled it off. Like, that was the only thing that we had. The 2 really big Devontae Smith catches, which were so cool.
Man,
the
he's
touchdown.
the man this season. Like, I was so tunnel visioned by A.J. Brown. I just didn't
A.J. Brown will pop off.
I think he will too.
The same thing happened last year.
Right, but it's just, Devonta Smith looks crazy.
And, like, I was happy to see DG get a little more looks.
He definitely got some looks.
We had Boston Scott in for the first quarter, but then he got a concussion. He looked great. Like, our offense is finally coming together. We just, like, have these issues with our defense, which have always just been Eagles things, where we're like a catch and stop team.
Yeah.
We're not a like breaking up the play team. And like I want to be a breaking up the play team because that will push us over the edge. And I don't want these a win is a win, however you get there. It's funny because I read this article, I think I mentioned this already. Read a lot of articles in the last couple of days. But just, I guess, I haven't seen it, but I guess a lot of people are doubting the Eagles and saying that we're not playing well. And this guy was just, like, basically saying how, like, you have a team that scored 34 points, played in the rain, had over 175 rushing yards.
On a short week.
Yeah. And what is there not that's going, like, and they're winning. Like, how is this not a good team? And I'm like, thank you. You're giving me a little more faith in my team because I'm almost
you should have a lot of faith in your team.
But
people are just being overly critical.
Defense wins games, though. You know what I mean? And like, but we had 4 turnovers that game too.
You're fine.
My favorite moment, probably of the whole weekend, besides that Hail Mary pass, was like there was this moment where like DeAndre Swift was like lined up next to Jalen Hurts, and he's like on his toes, and he kind of like lost his balance and then like instantly pointed, and like the commentator even like mentioned like, oh, he just like, and then like it's funny because like you see him like point, and then at the same time like him and Jalen Hurts like look at each other, and like I swear like Jalen's just like, boy, what are you doing? We all know it was you. I saw you. Yeah. It was just so adorable.
Trying to play it
I
off.
loved it. I loved it. That should be
cute.
one of those like a GIF, like just to like
Yeah.
And he just like sincerely lost his balance. Like he didn't he just kind of like stumbled and like.
It's like, well, at least I gotta try.
It was so
I gotta try to blame
funny.
it on them. Very cute.
But yeah, that game was really exciting. It was cool because my sister came up and watched the game with us at my mom's house, and like it was just fun having the family together, watching the Eagles, and just like she cooked all this food, and I'm like, Mom, why did you make all this random food? Your mom is
so cute.
It was funny because
I love her passion for the Eagles.
We all went for.
I just want to be like her when I grow up.
We all went for a jog before the game. So my sister's also trying to participate in my like running challenge, and we were gonna go for a jog together, and then we convinced my mom to like go for a walk. So like we did that around 6:00, got back around like 6 or 7:30. And my mom's like, well, just tell me what you want me to cook because I'm not going to be cooking once this game starts. And we just could not, after a run, like you're hungry, but you just don't know what you want.
Yeah.
And like, we just weren't giving her answers.
Healthy
yeah. So like, I'm showering, like putting my jersey on, and I come out. She's just making like anything that was in the fridge. And I'm like, all right.
She was hungry. She burned those calories.
Yeah, so.
That's adorable.
But it was fun. And like I said, I think this Monday I'm going to try to go watch the game at my sister's house. But yeah, I love watching the Eagles with my family. It's so much fun.
It's the best times.
All right. But yeah, no brainer for me.
No brainer
I wish I would be there, but I won't. But go Birds.
Eagles. There'll be another one.
Yeah.
Maybe playoffs.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to that Jets game anymore. The tickets are just too expensive, and to not see Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I think what we're gonna do, like, I might fly up for another game, like, but I don't know because I don't want to like. They have the 49ers game at home, but I'm like, I just don't feel like I should go.
Anything.
Maybe I'll go to a. Oh wait, but I think the Giants game is the Christmas Day one.
Everything is really tough after September, October with like going to football games out of state because then you're like in that like Thanksgiving kind of time and like everything's so expensive and then there's Christmas and
I'm just worried about the schedule is what it is. Like I don't want to go to a game that like maybe I'll go to the Bills game because I think the Bills game is going to be at
that home. Would be really cool. Josh Allen,
I think that's the weekend after Thanksgiving and I think me and Cassie like talked about maybe going to that. And if we lost to the Bills like I wouldn't be, like, super depressed.
Exactly.
And I'd get to see Josh Allen in person.
That's a cool
Okay, maybe I'll try to fly up.
Well, you let me know, because maybe I can make that work, too.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, man.
Okay, then the final game is the Rams at Bengals.
Ooh.
Okay. With potentially no Burrow.
I think he'll be fine to play. It looked like it was, like, a cramp. Like, he was on the sideline with one of those... like massage guns, like maybe it was just like a lactic acid buildup or something.
Maybe.
Ready?
I want the Rams.
I want the Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go 0-3.
You might stop me again.
No, I don't know.
You don't think they'll go 0-3, but they did 0-4 last season, didn't they?
True.
And I think the Rams are a different team.
Oh, definitely. Like this whole thing, this is the least confident I've felt about matchups.
Some games were really like obvious, I think. I wish I would star the ones that are obvious, so if we're wrong, I'm going to do that. After the,
I like that. That's interesting.
And then we can, like, see which ones were, like, the flukes.
Love data.
Okay, so that is week 3, and then we're just going to quickly go through week 4 since we're not doing an episode next week. We'll do these quick. Try to keep this video under 2 hours. I think we can do it. We got 20 minutes.
Oh my God, the Thursday night matchup. So I'm going to be in London for this. So this game's going to be going on at like 2 a.m. London time. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake.
You might though, because you might just do that.
Yeah.
Take a nap. Drink a Celsius.
I'm going to have a lot of anxiety, so I probably will be awake actually.
Yeah.
Stupid. I mean, I can't go against my team. I was wishing, dreaming, hoping that the Packers and Lions would stay undefeated until this matchup, but here we are. But I'm taking the Pack.
You have the same record.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully we will continue to have the same record. Or have a better record.
Yeah.
We'll go this way.
We went with the Lions, though. And the Packers for week 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have the Falcons at Jags. warning, this is a 9:30 game, not a 1 o'clock game in London. So just remember to set your lineup for that. I know what I'm going with this one.
Yeah, me too. This team travels a lot.
And that's their home field.
Yeah, they've done this before.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Going Jags.
Bijan's about to get stopped.
I wish I could go to that game.
That would have been a fun one.
That would have been really cool, but I'm going to be drunk at Oktoberfest in Munich.
Then we have the Rams at Colts.
I love our boats just like...
Oops. Straight line. I went with the Rams.
Me too.
I don't think the Colts... I think the Colts offense is looking really good, which makes sense because they have probably the best offensive coach ever as their head coach now. But their defense is just still... Like, they still let...
Yeah.
Some points by...
Yeah. When does Jonathan Taylor come back? I think he's supposedly supposed to come back in October.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 4 weeks, so that would be week 5?
Maybe week 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be October. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rams Colts, then we got Ravens at Browns. Wait, that wasn't who okay, no, that's Ravens Colts. Okay. Yeah, Ravens at Browns. Sorry.
I think I just heard Theo snoring in the other room.
Really?
Yeah. All right, whatever.
I went with the Ravens.
I did too. I almost took the Browns here. I'm kind of going off of like based on what I've selected for this upcoming week.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Because I think both defenses are kind of
yeah, totally. I agree with you.
Then we have Vikings at Panthers.
I'm gonna roll with a curveball here.
Okay. Going with the Panthers?
Yeah.
I feel like
Vikings. Maybe, I know this is probably stupid. Maybe this is where I start losing my record here. But I could just see this being like the game where they pull it together. I mean, like, guys, we can't be this far out. We gotta get it together.
This is, again, for me, like a defense versus offense kind of thing.
Totally.
Okay, then we have the Bengals at Titans. Is that what I wrote? Sorry, this I try to abbreviate on mine because I was trying to
no, you got it.
Okay, Bengals at Titans. That wasn't Theo snoring, that was my stomach. Is that what you were hearing?
I don't know. I went Bengals.
I went Bengals too. I think this is where they start coming back to life.
Me too. I mean, they sound very similar.
What, my stomach and Theo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get this girl some food.
And then I ate the olives.
It's not food.
Then we have Bucks at Saints.
This is always a very scrappy matchup. The Bucks and Saints are always a very heated game. And I feel like the Saints, I don't know. I feel like the Saints, I feel like my stomach's about to growl, actually.
We should get food after this, if you want.
Yeah. This is like a yawn type of contagion where, when someone, like, this is happening.
It never felt that way in class while I was taking an exam. And the whole room is silent.
That would always happen to me, too.
Going with my gut. That's the theme of the episode, right?
I'm going with history.
I'm going with the Bucks.
I went Saints.
Okay.
It's always scrappy. I think it was Bucks and Saints that had like all the drama with Mike Evans last year. Do you remember that?
It was. Where he was like, it's Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do? Yeah.
I think they ended up winning that game. The Saints, right?
Yeah, but it was a very low scoring game, just like the second time they played each other. Yeah. And they had Andy Dalton, where is Andy Dalton? Or, I'm sorry, not Andy Dalton. The other guy that played for the Bears.
Andy Dalton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's the backup quarterback on the 49? Oh, Sam Darnold. Okay. Where is Andy Dalton?
I don't know where Andy Dalton is.
What if he ends up on the Jets?
Is he still with the Saints?
Maybe, but I thought they released him. They have Taysom Hill.
No, wasn't he with the Bengals? Because I remember being like orange. So much orange.
We'll have to look that up after this. He's not starting anywhere, obviously.
No, maybe Bengals still.
Okay, so Dolphins at Bills.
Ooh.
Man, wait, are you going to be back home on Sunday for this? No, you come back Monday. Damn, you come back Monday. These are all good games.
I could have been back a lot earlier, but my flight got changed. I'm going to be in Chicago for a very long time. Just great, actually.
Dolphins at Bills. Was this week 4 last year? No, it was week 3. Because it was when we were suffering also in the Florida heat.
True. That was a very hot game.
I went with the Bills.
I did too.
Okay, so it's a wash.
No, I think...
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That is a tough one. Especially to pick 2 weeks out.
Totally.
Okay.
It's always fun to kind of do a 2 weeks out one.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do it again.
Injuries can happen.
Yeah. We'll have to do it again because then I'll be going out of town. Yeah. And then we have the Broncos at Bears.
Ooh, what a turd fest.
I don't think the Broncos are turds anymore.
No. They're definitely leveled up. Are you ready? Let's ride. Bring it back. I thought you wrote that. I was like, wow. Maybe we've jinxed them. Maybe the Bears will get a win at that game.
They got to. One of us is going to.
I feel like I kind of want to change it. Am I locked in?
No, if you want to put the Bears, go for it.
I'm going to put the Bears.
I'm
good, guys. I'm going with the Bears. The Bears. They're at home. They're not going to be that embarrassing. They probably will be, though.
Then we have the Commanders at Eagles.
Allie, I just can't.
I want the Eagles.
Yeah, me too. I can't go against the Eagles.
Thank you.
Love them too because of you.
Thank you. I just think that
But also, I believe in that team wholeheartedly.
I think that we have. I think they might be a little. I'm less worried about playing them than I am the Bucks. I think.
Yeah.
Then we have the Steelers at Texans.
Easy. Steelers.
Yeah. But do we also think the Texans might end up having a win in there somewhere?
Definitely.
They have to soon. You can't be...
Definitely. That's why this is so difficult.
It's crazy, too, because, gosh, I keep getting all these rookie quarterbacks' names is mixed up. Not Bryce Young, not Richardson. What is his name? Stroud. He looks so young.
Stroud.
He keeps it together pretty well, though.
Yeah.
He's another one that, like, if I think he had... And this is what kind of, like, stings for these, like, prospects getting drafted in the first round is, like, they're always going to be going to teams that had the worst record.
Yeah, that are tough teams.
Yeah. And have to be the guy that, like, turns the team around.
And all that weight's on their shoulders. See, this is where the Packers, draft and develop type of argument comes in, that maybe it isn't so crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure for a young dude. I mean, that kid's 21.
He looks like a 22 baby out there.
Like, you're a child when you're 21 and 22. To have, like, all that weight
I don't even
think
he has facial hair yet.
Probably not. That kid's the same age as Sam.
That's crazy.
Younger than Sam.
That's crazy.
Little Sam.
Then we have the Raiders at Chargers?
Yeah.
Is that what we're... Okay.
Ooh, it's thundering.
It's been thundering all day. Cadet was freaking out.
Yeah. The weather's been really weird today.
This was a tough one.
I know.
I just went with my gut.
Again, like, I feel like I haven't taken the Raiders to win a game at all, and that's weird. I did too. For some reason...
This could probably be besides week 1, where I was like... Week 1, I was just kind of being, like, optimistic. You know what it was? Like, I just wanted to be the person that called the crazy, like, wild cards and all that. And I'm not that person.
That was me all of last year.
Yeah, I'm not that person. This, I'm actually being, like, really serious and, in my opinion, logical. But scratching week 1 and 2, this is probably going to be my worst prediction in the whole season.
You're going Cards?
No.
Oh.
Oh, no. I meant this week.
This
like,
whole
I'll probably have the
I was
most...
like, she's going Cardinals right now?
No,
At
I will...
49ers?
I will go with the 49ers
Me too.
on this one. Like, again.
Lock it in. 49.
49ers. Such an easy schedule.
I know. You know, now that I'm seeing it and we're having to, predict it, I'm like, yeah, this is really stupid easy. It has
it's
to
just
get...
the arrangement of it, too.
Yeah,
it's
got to get a little more complicated soon.
Then we have the
God.
Patriots at Cowboys.
Wait, was that your stomach or was that
No,
Theo?
that was Theo.
That was Theo this time. So, in my head, I'm like, they're going to have to fall off eventually, right? They're going to have to lose a game. I feel like I'm going off the rails.
Why? Did you put the Patriots?
No, I took the Cowboys, but for some reason I
put the
wanted
Patriots.
to take the Patriots, but I went against my gut.
Their offense is like interesting.
I know, I agree with you. I can see it.
But Mac Jones against Micah Parsons, I don't know about that.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna hope and pray.
Let's see what happens.
Then we have the Chiefs at Jets. Another team with an easy schedule. Not that the Jets are easy.
That's Sunday night? That's the Sunday night
Oh,
game?
yeah. We go back to only having one Monday night after this week.
I went Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I love them in primetime, even though it went the way it did on Thursday opener, but...
That's crazy that the Jets are primetime at home again. Oh, probably because of Aaron Rodgers. So there's a chance... Well, no, they won't flex the Chiefs game.
They're not going to flex the Chiefs game, but I was thinking once Rodgers got hurt, I was like,
so
are
have
they going to
Rodgers
flex out?
and Mahomes still never face each other?
Yeah, I think that still stands. That is crazy. That hasn't been brought up yet, but I'm sure it will be brought up.
Yeah, we're in the future a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we wrap up with Monday Night Football, Week 4. Seahawks at Giants.
State Farm in shambles with that, that they never faced off. But I think that's...
Yeah, but Rodgers hasn't really been in any commercial.
I think his contract with them ended this season. Like, when he went to the Jets, they were like, nope.
Well, then he's on Hard Knocks and all that, too, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, could be. Giants. Oh, okay.
Why not?
All right, cool.
Don't sleep on Daniel Jones.
Amen.
And possibly Saquon Barkley might be back by
True.
then.
You never know. You never know. Okay.
All right. That'll be interesting. Oh, my bad.
Listen, it's everywhere.
Is that rain or your AC?
That's my AC.
Okay. All right. Interesting. One of the most toughest weeks to predict, I think, that we've done is Week 4.
Yeah. Looking at all these matchups, I have this vibe that, like, a lot of these teams are very, like, on the same playing field this year. I think there's only, like, a handful of really bad teams and, like, really powerful good teams right now. Everybody's very, like... But maybe that's how I feel every early season.
I don't ever...
I just forget.
I went with a lot of teams that start with B or R, it looks like. That's funny. This week was a little more easier to navigate.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
But we'll see.
Week 4, but it's also because we really don't know what's going to happen this upcoming week.
Right.
I mean, look where we are now with injuries.
I think what makes doing double prediction weeks hard is, like, realizing that you have teams that you pick to lose both weeks.
Exactly.
And you're like, do
like
I
my
really
Raiders
see
situation.
these? Yeah, and
2
the
weeks
Bears.
in a row.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I really think?
And it skews your thinking.
Yeah, it's like another thing to factor in. But, like, sometimes, yes, teams do lose 4 weeks straight, even though they're good teams and should be winning.
It'd be fun next season to predict, like, the entire season ahead of time.
That is a lot of work, but we can do it.
It would be tremendous.
We can do it.
And there's no kind of basis, only like last season, but it would be cool to see how accurate we are.
Yeah.
It would probably be very wrong.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. We should try to remember to do that.
I'm totally down for it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Very cool.
All right, so I think that's everything. We will hopefully be back in 2 weeks, and we'll have to do another double prediction week that week.
Yeah.
And then I'll do my best. I don't think I'm going to go out this Sunday to watch the game, so I'll probably just watch what I can. But I'll do my best to take a lot of notes and get you all informed when you come back in town.
I'm going to try to watch all the games on my flight back home, catch up, so it'll be kind of fresh.
Okay. Yeah. Right on.
Cool.
Good way to spend a flight like that.
Totally. A long boy. All right. Well, we're going to get Allie some food.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good luck with your picks and your fantasies.